Welcome to this presentation. This is part of our series Fundamentals of Gameplay or Fundamentals of Game Design. We are talking about character design and development. You have to watch all of our previous slides or videos on this topic, character design. Now I am jumping to the slide 33. We will be talking about the roles, attributes and values of the characters in a game. Every character in the game will play a role. The moment a character comes into the game scene, the player will want to know about him. What is his role, what he can do, what he cannot do, or how to treat him, or how to interact with that person, or we should just ignore him. Sometimes the voice and the appearance of that particular character can give some idea about him, and I think for minor characters this is okay. But if that character will play a big role in the game and you have to face it time and time again or in different situations, or he has some significant effect on you, of effect on the player, then you will need to know more characteristics about that particular character. Major characters need richer personalities. Now you have to define those characters in details. I think in your game design document or in the process of game design or creating the game design document, you have to keep some detailed thoughts on this. You have to design those characters individually for each of the characters. What you have to do, you can list many questions and you can answer those questions. Those questions and answers will define those roles. I think by defining those roles, you can also make those characters act appropriately in the game. And another thing is, as you told in the beginning lectures, that the characters should have some sort of personality. They cannot break those personality. So through these questions and answers, you have to establish some sort of personality of that particular character, and they should be remaining within some boundaries. So for each of the characters, you can create some character background. It's not only that the player will know how to interact with them, but when you will be designing your game, by defining a character, you'll also be able to think about the different gameplay, the interactions, the challenges, how the player should treat him and how he will treat the player. So it will make your life easier. Or maybe initially your game story is not broad enough, or you did not give a thorough thinking. Maybe when you are able to think about the personality of the character, maybe you'll be able to add some more interaction or some more gameplay or some more challenge or interaction in the game. Now, to define a character, you can list many questions, many of the attributes. I think I just listed some here, but I think if you search internet or if you search some textbook, you will see hundreds or 50 of these questions you have to answer. You may not need to answer all of them for a particular game, but you can check them, and maybe you can think which of the characteristics are important or may affect your game, or if you, I think how these things can affect the particular character and the gameplay. Okay, I think some questions you can ask: where was the character born, family life as a kid, his education, his job, his finances, favorite food, worst thing about him, how does he treat friends. Try to imagine how he will behave in a variety of situations, variety of game situations, variety of challenges. In variety of situations, the player against the hero, how he will treat, or if he is the hero, how he will act in different situations. Just think about him, think about his personality, and then you have to match his personality with the blend his personality with the game story. Yeah, then you have to think how all his character will manifest into the game story. And another thing is, if you think that this character is a little bit mischief, a little bit dishonest, but not a villain, how will you propagate this to the players? It is not particular with this particular character type, it's with all character type. I think whatever you think about the character, okay, this character should play this type of role, or his character type will be this. Now you have to propagate this type of behavior in the game so that the player feels it real, and most probably it will also add something to the entertainment part of the entertaining the player. And it's always better to show rather than telling. But how? The player, they like to interact with the game. They don't want to read something, or they don't want to read the background or manual to know your characters. You have to show them. Maybe you can add some more, a little more story or a little more interaction, just to show the behavior pattern of the character. You must give the player the opportunity to observe the character's action so that the player can play appropriately. Otherwise you will not know what to do with what character. The player may not enjoy this, but if he knows the personality types, maybe he will enjoy the game more. You have to establish the type of character through the behavior. Appearance and language sometimes may define a character, but it doesn't give the 100% personality. It can create some stereotypes. Yeah, through appearance, language, behavior, you can provide. As I have told that players like to interact. They just don't want to read the screen to know the characters. They don't want to sit idle and watch the character. So through the interaction or through the gameplay, you have to bring those attributes of the characters live that the player will believe. Now you also have to assign some attributes to your characters. I think it will help to propagate the game story. Like, the attributes can be of two types: status attributes and characterization attributes. Characterization attributes, it's something default to the character, it's his personality, like the constitution, the character's overall degree of hardness and resistance to change. These attributes will not change much throughout the game. Let's see, in the action games, the player has to be rough and type, he has to be hard, he has to be strong, and this will be like it. He can get hit, his health can get damaged, but his overall image that he's a hard guy or tough guy or a skillful guy, that will remain unchanged. But other attributes, that we call status attributes, those can change with the gameplay, with time, with the situation. Now let's see, his points, his health, those are status attributes. In recent games, the designers also try to bring some social relationships and emotional states to those games. In the game Sims, it's a game where it simulates the living of different people in a suburban neighborhood. For all of the different characters, we assign some characterization attributes, and also we assign some type of status attributes like hunger, comfort, hygiene. Now the players will try to live by using the game. They will try to live, socially live. They will interact with each other, they will face each other, and the people who has conflicting sims or conflicting characterization attributes, they will not get along. Maybe they will be having some fight or some quarrel, but other than that, they will get along. I think in the game you will try to meet their status attribute needs, like try to feed them, collecting food. They will try to get comfort. Maybe through their activities they will face other characters, and based on the reactions of the other characters you have to do something. Anyway, I think what the thing is here is they are trying to bring some sort of social relationship and emotional states